Is a question. People in the YouTube or LinkedIn, please leave your answers in the comment section. I already started seeing answers coming up here. All right, the alphabets mostly I'm seeing getting with B. I'm giving a few more seconds. The rest of the man can answer. This is such a complicated question, but still, there's a servant leadership is a concept or it is a naming we read in different places. If I'm sitting for a CSM certification, Scrum, what do you call this? Certified Scrum Master. Those certificate, when they use the word servant leadership, will be very easy because we know Scrum Master is one person constantly utilizes term servant leadership. But when you come for a certificate like a PMP or PMI-ACP, they expect not one person to do the job. They expect many people can play this role. That's why they come in. But still, what direction I should go? That is a confusion there. So let's listen this question and we'll discuss more on it. Okay, again, I'm seeing Sakshi is giving B in YouTube. I have people here in online gave mostly B. I see one C also come up there. So we're going to have some variation. Yeah, we'll discuss about it. An agile coach is a facilitating. They're using a word agile coach, facilitating a discussion about servant leadership. About what? Servant leadership. In the retrospective, during the session, the team members ask many questions. Of course, they want to know what is this guy is all about. Which one of these questions with the agile coach, will the agile coach answer yes for it? Which means some of them are no, some of them are yes. Okay. So let's start with the elimination technique by first going with the no. Since I have answer C and B with me, I'm going to put this as a no. Okay. I'm going to put this no because no one has answered these words. I got a yes for this and yes for this. So let's figure it out. First, let's understand why it is no. Should a servant leaders prioritize strategic thinking instead of daily work? Now, why we have to say no for it? Don't you think they will do strategic thinking?
They will do strategic thinking, but there is also a responsibility we learn that they are also responsible to remove the impediments, which is a part of daily work. So
That's a
that's
part
why
of
it's
daily work. Okay, fantastic. Which means their primary daily work would be to help the team, rather only prioritizing strategic thinking. Okay, that's a whole team effort. Strategic thinking, it could be a whole team effort. What can we do? How can we do? Very good. So that way it goes out. Okay. And then let's see other one. Will my performance as a servant leader be assessed? Why people say no for it? Don't they assess?
As a servant leader is the keyword, Shri. As a servant leader, assess.
As a servant leader, be assessed. Will be performance. Okay.
If there is a project manager, his outcome or performance will be measured as a project manager's efficiency, because the servant leader can be one of the trait of his personality which is helping him to achieve the performance. But never judged on that one parameter of servant leader. Maybe sometimes, rarely, but more as your effectiveness as other job role, project role.
Well said. So a servant leader, at least we saw in our classes, a person is who is capable of showing the vision to the team and clear the impediments which is blocking them and shield the team from unwanted distractions and help the team with the tools or techniques or whatever way of working and be a people person to help them and yeah, you gel up with the people, right? This is some of the things which you saw in one of the picture in our class. So you have a vision, you share, you don't create the vision, vision is created, but you share the vision. Now, as you said, in classes in PMP and PMI-ACP, what we learned is servant leadership is one of the character of the person, which means you will have negotiation skills, you will have communication skills, you will have emotional intelligence, EI, isn't it? You will follow ethics of a PMI. You will have one of the character servant leadership. You will know the political ground happening in the corporate, isn't it? You talk about active listening. It goes on. A list is very huge. One of the way of working is called servant leadership. That is why he said, if I go and sit in a CSM certificate, certified Scrum Master certificate, they will only give attention to this area. That is why those certificates at the level of couldn't come to a high level. The reason is if you go to PMI examination or a scale Agile examination or PMI ACP examination, they tell a person only with this cannot be measured. You have to do other parameter also. Collectively, you are called as a manager. Collectively, you called as a coach. So as rightly said here, performance measuring, I don't go by that one character only. Yeah, that's not the only thing. So I agree with the answers what you said. No goes here, no goes here. However, now I have two answers are yes. So let's see how to solve it. What I do is I'll invite one of you to explain. Maybe I'll start with Rina. Rina, you want to say something about why you thought C is a good answer?
Answer the option C because as we as you explain that is the some characteristics of servant leadership like showing vision, removing impediment, shielding the team. That
Uh,
means that some fixed guidelines for that, some
uh,
characteristics for the servant leadership. That's why
uh.
answer give the option C.
Oh. So there is a fixed guideline. Do you think it's a fixed or it can be depending on your organization model or it can be based on your team expectations? Can I make some course corrections?
No, it should be mandatory, na? So that's why we are calling them as a servant leader.
Okay. Okay, I'll leave it there. I will not say much on that. I'll leave it there. So you mean that there's a fixed line. 1, 2, 3, 4 rules should be followed.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Then I'll go to one other person. Pradeep, I'm seeing a name there. You want to say something for the B? Why you thought B is a good answer? If Pradeep not on the mic, then I'll pull Bhupendra. Bhupendra, if you're available.
Yeah, Shri. Hi everyone.
Right.
So, so yeah, I believe B could be the better option as a yes because
Uh, uh,
there are no set parameters for anyone to be a servant leadership first,
mm,
and out of these four options, we need to identify one answer which is best out of all these options. So,
mm,
of course, if C looks better, but B is the best option as per me because
mm,
this is a particular trait that applies to everyone in the team and
mm.
everybody could be a servant leader in terms of the services. So I,
Mhm.
I feel that B is the better option.
Thanks for explaining that. Let me put the question on you, Bhupendra. If I have a fixed guideline, is it possible anyone can be there?
Of course, not everybody will fall as per the guideline, and that is the reason we also need to see that how far it is feasible for somebody to
Ah,
fall on those lines. So
Okay.
means there could be somebody who might not fit as per the set criterias, but
Yeah.
again we need to understand whether
Ah,
how is that impacting on the overall delivery of the project.
okay. I like the point. Like the points. Thanks for sharing. Then, Rina, I'll come back to your question. Now, how about answer B? What do you think about answer B?
Because everyone is not having all that characteristics, no?
Okay. Okay. That's
At
not a
least
possible.
a characteristic should be there in a person to declare as a servant leader.
Okay.
Like
I
having visioning, he's only showing the helping the people or showing the smile on the face. So he is the servant leader.
Okay. Thanks for the points. Any other points from the team members before I share the answer?
Here, I mean, I can understand her point from the fixed guidelines point of view, but servant leadership is mostly concerning to the people's point of view than process point of view. If we look in that perspective, where, for example, from a process, we can have a guideline, a defined guideline, which to be followed. But when it comes to people's management, it varies with person to person, and we cannot. I mean, it ranges from good to very good, and we cannot strictly define what is good and what is very good. It depends on situation to situation.
That's a good way of thinking, right? You're saying that don't put a lock into the process. Tell do.
Yeah,
Rather
that's
keep
where
it.
That's why the
It's
fixed
about
guideline is it's not good relevant.
Okay.
For sure, you have a guideline, but it's not a fixed guideline. You can say so and so is a person, so and so is good, but you cannot say this is definitively good.
You say guideline is there, but don't keep it fixed. It can be
Fixed, yeah.
flexible because agility will bring it flexible. Okay.
It's about understanding need of the people. So it will vary from person to person. So we cannot have fixed
Person to
guidelines
person.
for particular person.
I
Okay.
think, Shri, this Agile is like knowledge workers, right? So in that case, if it is a traditional, then it may be a question that can anyone become a project manager. But since it is Agile, here we all use only the knowledge workers, cross-functional team, the T-shaped people mostly. So in that case, can anyone be a servant leader? It's yes, right? That is what I feel.
Which means people are T-shape employees who possess the knowledge of other work also, who can run the show.
Yes,
They
because
can,
everybody is equal. If you see in the Agile team, what they in the principles also what they say is they work as a team together. There is nobody is called like manager or a level higher, like how we use in the traditional structure. Here, everybody is equal. So in the
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. I'm seeing a lot of
In
positive points. Okay.
Shri, in other words, you brought up an example that mother being a servant leadership at home, right? So a mother is a mother showing an unconditional love, but all mothers are, I mean, every mother is different to others.
Different. Yeah, of course.
So
Of course, there are some others show very much good love by giving one slap. The conversation starts with a slap. Top. Then only, okay, now I understood. Very clear. Some mother will start with a soft, hey, don't do this. Have you seen that in the marketplace? But start from there. That's a guideline for her. She learned somewhere that first to start with a slap. So that's what you're saying. Okay, good. Thanks for all this conversation. Thanks for the people who gave B, gave C. Let's go to the answer now. So, okay, the answer goes with the B. Okay. The role and the title of project manager or team lead can vary by project and organization. In general terms, the profession has embraced self-organizing team. Santalakshmi, I think that's what you're pointing out, right? And adaptability as core tenets. And the project manager team lead is no longer the sole person responsible for and focus on delivering results. Instead, focus on servant leadership, which is the practice of leading team by focusing on understanding and addressing the needs and development of team members. Right? Yeah, a person taking on this role should balance a strategic thinking with the daily project work. Balancing, look at the word balancing. Understanding that learning is a continuous also plays a part in self-organizing. So we think of tenets rather than fixed guidelines. Fixed will not work. Okay. For leadership characteristics. One such a tenet of servant leadership is to understand the vision of the project, not just the daily issues. The servant leader should figure out how to create a balance, again, balance between daily and strategic work in the context of the project and the team. Therefore, the only question in this list is answered is yes, anyone be a leader. Easy to say, hard to do. There are some people think that servant leadership means, okay, there's a scrum master. Scrum master goes on a holiday. So I'm going to manage the scrum board. And they think that's only servant leadership. Answer is no. Servant leadership, like you say that you have to have a strategic thinking. You have to know how to handle the people issues. You should know how to help them to move towards a goal, clearing the impediments. Many things are there, small, small things, but those are invisible things which you have to be careful to handle it. But comparing to the project manager as such a role 10, 15 years back, that has been reduced because 10, 15 years back, a project manager means you have to know the critical path creation. You should know Gantt chart. You should know budgeting. You should know many, many parameters to be a manager. But now things have changed because you saw in the class in Agile, at least we learned a portion of requirement responsibility stays with the customer himself. That's why we have a role called product owner. A product owner, in our examples, we learned Julie, she comes into the system and she handles most of the things, which means some of the responsibilities are divided. So we have a servant leader who can drive the things to happen. Rina, will you accept this? What do you think about it?
Yes, that fixed word is not.
Yeah, that's where the problem is. Guidelines are there. Rightly you said, a fixed is a tough thing. That too in agile world, a fixed is more expensive. So we have to go for a bit flexible condition. Yeah,
Agree. Mm.
fantastic, guys.